Formula One said farewell to Antonio Giovinazzi at the end of the 2021 season, with the driver off to try and make his way in Formula E in 2022. Now, the former Alfa Romeo man doesn't leave a huge legacy in the Premier Series of motorsport, but here at GPFans we figured we should take a look back at some of Antonio Giovinazzi's finest moments and his history in motorsport so far. Remember, if you want to see more of our driver specials and of course the latest breaking news and views from around the world of Formula One, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with everything we do at GPFans. But now let's take a look back at Antonio Giovinazzi's career in motorsport. Giovinazzi was born on December 14th, 1993 in Martina Franca, Italy. He started his professional karting career when he was already 13 years old, which is actually very, very late for the average driver. In his first year, he immediately took the national title, but after that, there were no significant successes. Finally, Giovinazzi made his debut in single-seaters in 2012 when he was allowed to compete in Formula Pilota China. Straight away in the series, he was able to win 6 victories, which also immediately gave him the series title. In 2013, Giovinazzi made the switch to European Formula 3 at the age of 20 years old. Here he encountered much younger opponents and it was difficult for him to cause any major surprises. Fortunately, he managed to perform a lot better in British Formula 3 because he finished his debut season in second place in the championship. In 2015, there was finally a success story in European Formula 3 because he finished his third season in second place. He also won the Masters of Formula 3 that year and finished 4th during the Macau Grand Prix. He also made his debut in DTM that year as well, a very busy year on track for Giovinazzi, although he failed to take a single point in his 2 races. In 2016, Giovinazzi was allowed to drive in GP2 together with Pierre Gasly on behalf of the Prema Racing team. Gasly claimed the title that year, while Giovinazzi followed in second place. In retrospect, this was a very important year in the career of the Italian. His performances in the series put him on the radar of Formula One. In 2017, Giovinazzi was named the reserve driver of both Ferrari and Sauber, after which he was allowed to compete with Sauber during the winter testing of 2017. However, it didn't stop there. Sauber driver Pascal Wehrlein was injured during the Race of Champions, which meant that Giovinazzi was allowed to fill in for him in Formula One during the first 2 races of the year. During a number of free practice sessions that season, he was allowed to join Haas, a team that had very strong connections with Ferrari. The next big step for Giovinazzi followed in 2019. That was when he was allowed to join for the first time as a full-time Formula One driver at Alfa Romeo alongside new teammate Kimi Raikkonen. However, he had a very difficult start. He was unable to finish in the points in the first 8 races of the season and only managed to score his very first point during the Austrian Grand Prix thanks to his 10th place finish at the Red Bull Ring. The races that followed did not go too smoothly either, so that team boss Frederic Vasseur started to have doubts about Giovinazzi's future with the team from Hinwell. At that time, he had only collected 1 point, while his older teammate Kimi Raikkonen already had 31 to his name. Fortunately, the second half of the season went a lot better for Giovinazzi. In the end, he finished the year with 14 points, taking 17th place in the championship. Hardly a result that was going to pull up any trees, but certainly one that showed that he was growing and learning his trade in Formula One. After much deliberation, the Alfa Romeo team decided to keep Raikkonen and Giovinazzi as drivers in 2020. The Italian's hopes in Formula One started to get a little bit better. He immediately managed to score points in the first race of the season in Austria. After that, however, it went downhill. However, this was not necessarily due to Giovinazzi, but more with the condition of the car he was driving. The Ferrari engine was clearly not powerful enough, as we could see with the Ferrari F1 team's own performances that year, and the chassis was not strong enough to make up for that lack of power. As a result, both Raikkonen and Giovinazzi managed to collect only 4 points each. A very disappointing year, but nevertheless, the two gentlemen were also allowed to return to the team for 2021. 2021, however, didn't go much better for Giovinazzi, as he only finished in the top 10 in Monaco in P10 and Saudi Arabia in P9, and therefore didn't get any more than a total of 3 points. In mid-November, the Alfa Romeo Formula 1 team announced that Giovinazzi would be leaving at the end of 2021. Valtteri Bottas was appointed as the replacement for the retiring Raikkonen, while Guan Yu Zhou was appointed as Bottas's new teammate. As a result, there was no room for the Italian, who had to clear the field. That same day, Giovinazzi announced that he would be making the switch to Formula E. He will race with the Dragon Penske team in 2022, for which he has already passed the necessary tests. A very new and different step in the career of somebody who's had so many different moves already in his short time in motorsport. So Giovinazzi is gone. Was perhaps his 10th place in Monaco his finest moment in Formula 1? Let us know in the comments section below. Will you miss the young Italian driver, or was he never really going to cut the mustard in the premier class of motorsport? Let us know, and of course hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with all of our content here at GPFans.